TheorySabers.com.
Hello everyone, reporting in from Texas, San Antonio. This is the night before we have the convention, which is starting, Theory Sabers booth, very exciting. But anyways, you are here for the information, and I'm here to read the actual information for the first time after I saw the update. That the Ray movie has lost its writer. I don't know what's going on over there, man. I hope you like my new hat. Brand new hat, never had a cowboy hat, a proper one, so this is my real cowboy hat. And very excited about it. Stephen Knight is officially out as the writer of Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's Star Wars Rey movie, which is supposed to be Daisy Ridley and has been plagued with numerous exits and delays. And I'm wondering what's causing these exits. It's turning into Blade of Star Wars verse. First things first, if you've been reader long enough, blah, blah. Here's the scoop. Wrote on June 26th concerning Knight's contentious disagreements with Lucasfilm over the film. He says, if only I could tell you what I've been hearing when it comes to the behind-the-scenes drama with Star Wars The New Jedi Order. I swore not to say anything, and it's killing me not to write about it, but I'm fairly certain some of it will eventually come out. What I will say is that Stephen Knight has been trying to crack the script now for well over a year. A final draft still hasn't been submitted to Lucasfilm. Knight, who is about to shoot his Peaky Blinders movie, has written a total of 4 drafts, with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy continuously giving him notes on how to improve the story. So right off the bat, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy should have any say in any of the stories that go into Star Wars. I don't think she understands Star Wars, and I don't think she knows anything that goes into actual storytelling whatsoever. She's a producer. She's produced a lot of the films that Steven Spielberg has made, that Lucasfilm is making, and she has a lot of accolades under her belt. But as a producer, she should not be doing any storytelling whatsoever. That's like a award-winning chef going to play tennis. You're an award-winning chef. Like, what business you got doing here? So now people are going to say I'm going to say basically saying she's got to get back in the kitchen. That just came to mind. I'm probably going to get canceled over this. So let's say she's a surgeon, and you're now telling her to go play American football. No, just doesn't happen, doesn't match. So keep her doing what she's doing, have the writers always be the writers, and those be the talented ones that are actually telling the story. And that's one of the first things that's wrong with Star Wars today with Disney, is that they have too many cooks in the kitchen, or they got Kathleen Kennedy, who once upon a time said that there's no source material for Star Wars. She literally said,
we don't have source material.
There's no source material, there's no comics, there's no books, there's no games. What are you talking about? I don't even think she has an idea of anything that has going on with Star Wars since she freaking purchased it. I don't think she has an idea of what happened with Star Wars anytime before Disney acquired it. There's just a lot of farts coming out of her mouth when it comes to what she thinks she knows, and I really need someone there to be like, hey, Kathy, I don't think you know what you're doing, what you're talking about. Case in point, we've gotten so many projects that have been constantly canceled, and for better or worse, and it's always worse, I feel like, because all the projects that do end up actually coming out suck. Fast forward to this evening, and Puck's Matt Belloni is reporting that Knight is out as screenwriter of New Jedi Order. Lucasfilm is now looking for a new writer, which almost certainly means that the film will not be ready for December 2026. The date Disney had originally settled on, so we were going to have 2 Star Wars movies, 2 blockbuster Star Wars movies in theaters in 2026, and now we're not going to get that. We're going to get just one, which is fine. We'll get the Mandalorian movie, which is great, which I believe will be like sort of a Avengers Endgame type of film, and I imagine we're probably going to get a follow-up to that too. But as for this film, I don't know what's going on over there, dude. I think this is what needs to happen. They got to clean house. Kathleen Kennedy got to go. She's worked a very illustrious career. She doesn't know what she's doing with Star Wars, and I think it's time she needs to move on, hire someone who does, not a clone, not someone to replace her and do exactly what she's doing, which is messing up the whole franchise and driving the stock down and the fans and dividing them. I think we need someone that really understands Star Wars, and I honestly feel, I was a big fan of Dave Filoni for what he's done with Star Wars and the fact that he respects George so much, and I still have some respect for him in that sense, but with what he's done with The Acolyte and a few other things, and I know people want to say, he wasn't in the position he was in when The Acolyte was being done. He still signed off on stuff, man, and, Leslie Headland, made him the scapegoat of like, oh, he approved this, he approved that. Nothing in that show should have been approved. It was an absolute atrocity, and it was insulting to George Lucas and insulting to Star Wars, in my opinion. No wonder it didn't get greenlit for season 2, because nobody watched it. Nobody liked it. The #1 award for the least amount of views of any Star Wars finale in history. That should say enough. So anyways, these issues with Knight, who clashed with Lucasfilm over creative director of the film, come only 2 years after development on New Jedi Order started. and various drafts had circulated with different writers, including Damon Lindelof, Watchmen, and Justin Britt Gibson, taking a crack at it, before both eventually exiting the project due to creative differences. Now, these creative differences, who is the one that's saying, like, no, your differences are different than my creative differences? Obviously Kathleen Kennedy, and her being the number one to decide that you're different and you got to be the same and you got to go is, I think, the wrong person to put as the spearhead, the placeholder, the crown. I don't think Kathy knows a darn thing about Star Wars, and if she does, have her write a movie, have her write and direct a movie, and let's see how unbelievably atrocious it is. And if it's great, well, okay, then something else is wrong there, but I don't think it will be. There's also another issue. Disney might be second-guessing the entire nature of the project. Will they or won't they allow this film to move forwards? Do we really need another Rey movie? We don't. Plot details have been kept fairly hush-hush, but based on what I've heard, the film will focus on Rey's tutelage at an academy of up-and-coming Jedi, and part of her attempt to build a new Jedi Order. Exactly what we wanted to see Luke Skywalker do. They destroyed all of the legacy characters so that they could make way for their own. They killed Han Solo. Carrie Fisher's unfortunately gone. Luke Skywalker was turned into a loser and died. And now all of the, C-3PO, all those dudes, like, they got rid of them. You got BB-8, you got Rey, Poe, Finn, Rose, a whole bunch of, characters that are new, which is fine, but they got absolutely diluted character development, if you can even say it, and that's being extremely generous. So, when it comes to the writers at Lucasfilm, I don't think any of them really know what they're doing except for one person, and I think that's Jon Favreau. I think Jon Favreau, and when it's just Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I think when it's just the two of them, because I feel like Dave will, I don't know what the hell happened with Acolyte, but also with Ahsoka. The last couple episodes were dog shit, and I feel like I don't know what the hell's going on. You had a strong opening, strong middle, and then it just turned into ass. So it's like, why? What happened there? But I feel like when you have Jon Favreau, I don't know, it's just got a different feeling. And when you have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, it's kind of like they bounce ideas off each other, and Dave will be like, well, let's go and do this, and Jon's like, how about if we do that and take it this direction? And then they're like, well, maybe that's kind of cool. And then they both just feed off each other's ideas, and it turns into this mega amazing script, somewhat at least, compared to everything else we've been getting. So to me, it's no surprise that it lost their writer. Now, I don't think this is necessarily meaning it's going to be delayed. I think this just means that Kathy Kennedy is looking for something extremely precise for her vision, and she's obviously hasn't let go of the director, which we know from a lot of interviews. We have an idea of what she's about, and I think she's trying to find someone who's a writer who can be on par with that kind of ideology and agenda and thought process. I think the Rey movie will be an absolute bust. I think it'll be another Acolyte, in my opinion. Time will tell, and I'm always very hopeful. I always end up giving, all these projects the grace of time until I actually see it. Just like Outlaws, I thought it was really boring when the trailer came out. I thought it was horrible and boring when I was playing it, but I still tried to play it through to give my full consensus until I gave up, and I'm like, this is absolute shit. I can't play this anymore, and I told you guys how I felt. If it's good, I'll tell you it's good. If it's bad, I'll give you my take on that too. But at the end of the day, it's up to you guys. It's up to what you think. It's not up to me or Twitter or what anybody else thinks. It's up to you. Every single fan has their own important view of Star Wars and what they deem as good and not, and that is totally subjective, and that's art. I love you guys. I'm not surprised this is happening, but I also don't think it's going to be delayed. I think she's going to find someone to swoop in, someone that she wants and deems to be exactly what she wants, and if not, then they'll mold them into what they want. Hope you have a great day. Let me know what you think about the Rey movie. Do we need it? Do we not need it? I don't think we need it. I think we need an Anakin, Obi-Wan, Clone Wars live action show movie. I think we need a Young Plagueis movie. I think we need a Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan show or movie. Enough with the shows, man. Give us movies. I think we need a Old Republic movie, trilogy. Darth Bane trilogy. Go far into the future after the Skywalker saga, 1,000 years. What can we get? Give us something interesting there. There's so much lore. There's so much of the comics and books and games, and there's just so much information that we can get into, and I'm really excited, but depends on what this, multi-billion-dollar company who is in control of it wants to do and what they want to give us, but I guess time will tell. That's pretty much it. I will see you all tomorrow, and I'll be wearing my outfit, my get-up on Saturday, and I hope you all come out in San Antonio and Texas. I know there's a lot of people driving out from other parts of Texas I saw in the messages, so I'm excited to meet you guys, and let's hope for a good show this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, baby, we'll be there. Davey Sabers booth. Love y'all. See you later.